Before starting, I wanted to say that we are 6 beekeepers here from New Caledonia. So I got here with 5 commercial beekeepers, and 4 of them are the board of the Beekeeper Union of New Caledonia. I wanted to say thank you again to the women and the men who, from an idea, made this event a reality. It's an amazing chance and honor to be able to be here during this week to talk and to discover all of you. And wanted to say thank you as well for this gift. It's a simple gift. Of course, it's a hive tool, but all of you here know that this is the extension of our body when we are dealing with bees. This is the link between the animal we are raising and ourselves. And today is the link as well, the material link between all the participants of this amazing first Pacific Island Bee Congress. So a big thanks to them. I had to do a bit of geography before arriving here, and I realized I've been living in New Caledonia for nearly 30 years, and I just realized that Fiji and New Caledonia are just a bit more than 1,000 kilometers away, and we have exactly the same size when you look at it. The main difference between our two countries is that New Caledonia is only 2,700 270,000 inhabitants, so it's 3 times lowest than Fiji. For all the Fijian, this might help you realize or think or project yourself how wild and no habited is New Caledonia. Like most of your countries, we had bees in New Caledonia thanks to the missionaries. First, we only had black bees for a bit more than a century, and then between 1985 and 1995, to protect ourselves from a big AFB outbreak, we brought yellow bee from Australia, New Zealand, and a bit from Europe. And now we have this kind of particular situation where on one island we only have black bees, on another one yellow bee, and on the mainland a hybrid of both of them. This is the typical frame and bees we can find, but I'm sure they are pretty the same in your island as well. We have 3 main regions of production, which is Lifu, one of the Loites Islands, the far north, and then the west coast, where we concentrate most of our beehives. The west coast is the dry coast. We have about 50 beekeepers. I just forgot to say before, we manage over 10,000 beehives in New Caledonia, and this is a bit more than 600 persons who own beehives. On these 50 beekeepers own 40% of the stock, and 12 beekeepers have more than 100 hives. On the picture there, behind the suits and the smile, I wanted to tell you as well that you can see 3 women over 9 people, and this is mainly the average of women who are leading farms, beekeeping farms in New Caledonia. It's a bit more than 30%. We are working mainly with Langstroth hives, and with now half Dadan Super. The half Dadan Super help us to protect our back because they are way lightest, and they help us as well to catch up small honey flow. We were talking just before about climate change and that the yield were going to be a bit less, and the honey flow could be like very fast. And these smaller boxes are, of course, getting full a bit more quickly. I have to say that still, since we are a French country, we import all of our material from France. So we have almost all the material. We have very low connection to suppliers from New Zealand or Australia. We have specific taxes agreements with Europe. And most of our boxes are wood boxes, travel more than 20,000 kilometers to get in New Caledonia. I think we'll have to think about it again, thinking about global warming. Talking a bit about melliferous areas, we do honey with mainly 6 environment areas which are very different. It can be Niaouli savanna. Niaouli is a Melaleuca tree, which is a cousin from the tea tree in Australia, and it is endemic from New Caledonia. We have tropical forests, which are very different between the coral island and the mainland, and we have the mineral maquis. The mineral maquis is the natural plants and flowers that grows on the ground we are putting off to extract the nickel. We don't have logging problem in New Caledonia. And here in red, this is the rate of endemism of plants that grows only in New Caledonia. And you can see that for the tropical forest and for the mineral maquis, it's more than 80%. So each gram of honey that comes out of this specific ecosystem can be produced only in New Caledonia. We've been working for a few years on honey quality. We have the chance to be able to work on that. And what we see here, I'm sure we could see the same in your countries. This is the expression of the fact that we don't find pesticides in our honey, and this is quite unique now on Earth. And 50% of our quality of our honey are considered as a high quality honey with very low humidity, low HMF, and with a good average of diastase. And then we have more than half of the honey which are rich in antioxidants. From a study that has now 3 years made by our local government, we know that most of honey is sold in supermarkets, very small one and biggest one, and then direct selling has as well a good part of sales circuit. You can see on this stuff here that there is no a single % which is exported out of New Caledonia. And this is weird to realize that when you know the quality of honey we are producing. We have an average production of 150 tons a year, and here is the digit of income in million Fijian dollar of honey, and for other bee products. So you can see that the other bee products and byproducts represent only 10% of the income made by honey. Beekeepers are federated in 3 associations and in the union. The union is now the organization that is pulling the industry toward a better organization. We have as well, we haven't talked a lot about organic beekeeping, and another thing that we are sharing in the Pacific beside this hive tool is the Bio-Pacifica standard, which is the organic standard for the Pacific countries. And we have a very dynamic association in New Caledonia which is dealing with organic honey. We were talking about training this morning. We have been doing, the Beekeeping Center has been doing training of beekeepers for the last 30 years. And as you were telling yesterday, we are moving toward a free training system, toward a system where beekeepers have to pay something to get into the training. And 30 years ago, we used to to give for free a training, 5 beehives, and we were bringing the beehives to the beekeepers. And 30 years later, there is not a lot left from this early beekeeping program. We are doing some breeding program. We know as well, as you were saying before, that the honey yield are not enough high with our bees. So we are now working with 6 commercial beekeepers doing this each year selection bee program, where we we produce 200 queens a year, and our colleagues are testing the queens, and then we keep only the best remarkable colony to make other queens and drones for the next year. We are using this place which is what we call a mating station, where we manage to put a lot of drones from 1 or 2 strains together, and then we have our matting in that place. And we are doing as well now instrumental insemination to keep and to cross our lineage. This year we'll start a new breeding program on the Gueyte Island, and we are thinking as well to import semen from Australia to help us enhance the stock of our bees. But we are still thinking of it. It's the beginning. We've been talking with John Roberts for a year about this. We have a strong health monitoring network which has been created 10 years ago, and I'm kind of amazed when I hear you guys talking to see how in your countries there is very small or low health monitoring, because we all know how important it is to prevent our country, our islands, from new pests and disease. Our health monitoring network, I just put here the annual budget of this health monitoring. It's about 300,000 Fijian dollar, and this is helping us a lot by knowing the livestock, doing disease monitoring and preventing the epidemic. We have an annual hive declaration working in New Caledonia based on volunteering from the beekeepers, and we know from different studies that about 80% of beekeepers are playing the game, are doing the hive declaration each year. And since we are based on sedentary beekeeping, and on the hive declaration we have this GPS location, we can have this kind of map where we know the density of bees all over New Caledonia. I'm pretty sure this level of knowledge of a bee livestock is pretty unique in the Pacific and maybe pretty unique on Earth. And this, we don't have varroa or the other main disease that you guys are experiencing. The baddest stuff we have is AFB and EFB on the mainland, and the Gueyte Island on the east and the Isle of Pines down there don't even have the full brood. And otherwise we have ascospherosis, nosemosis, wax moth, which is killing a lot of our bees as well, just like in Fiji. And then the 5 classical virus. Of course, at the borders we are doing phytosanitary controls. And just to give you an example of how our government is doing that stuff, they train their dogs to smell queen boxes. So these dogs, as well as drugs and everything, they can smell the bees' smell. So they are working on the harbor and on the airplane as well. We have about 10 sentinel apiaries working now in New Caledonia, where we are doing a varroa treatment each month. We are trying to use different molecules depending on the varroa that could arrive in New Caledonia. And just to let you know, 10 years ago, one of our colleagues from the government caught a bee colony which was varroa positive on a boat. So this is happening. It's the same thing that is happening in all our countries. We had the chance to prevent the first introduction, but we know that the news is tightening around us, because Varroa is like in the countries all around us, almost. It depends if you consider that you have it in Australia or not yet. I won't. And here it's simply, we have several harbor, deep water harbor in New Caledonia because of the mining. So we are trying to put either trap and sentinel apiaries in those places. For the Apis cerana trap, I'm looking for any good ideas that could help us, give more chance to us to catch this cerana, because we know that the Apis mellifera trap don't work really for Apis cerana. So if you have any good news, you can give it to me. Well, I'm done, and I try to be quick because I'm the last one talking before the morning tea. So.